Hope you guys are having a great day. This is Blaze, and these last couple months, crypto has kept dipping. But whenever it dips, you buy more, then it dips again, you buy more, but it just seems like the dips just keep dipping, and eventually you're gonna run out of money. But luckily, these last 48 hours, crypto has jumped up almost 33% from Bitcoin going from 29,000 per Bitcoin to 40,000, which is crazy because some people didn't think that it was going to go up to 40,000 anytime soon. This also made Ethereum go up to 2,400, and Dogecoin went up from 19 cents to 23 cents, but it did not perform as well as the Bitcoin and Ethereum because in the past, altcoins would ×3 the performance of a Bitcoin or Ethereum. Also, when Dogecoin went up to 23 cents, it just dropped back down to 20 cents. That's why I invest in more stable coins like Ethereum and Bitcoin. I do have some Dogecoin, but majority of my portfolio are those two coins. Now, looking back at the all-time high when Bitcoin was at 60,000 per Bitcoin, the crypto market was at 2 trillion. Then it dropped down to 1.33 trillion, which is a ridiculous amount, losing almost $700 billion in the crypto market just in a couple of months. But now it's at 1.43 as of today, as I'm recording, so it's slightly coming back up. We are still down $600 billion. But there is a ton of good news coming out, which is gonna make Bitcoin go up to its all-time highs, way more than 60,000. So a couple of days ago, Jack Dorsey and Cathie Wood got together with Elon Musk to discuss Bitcoin on the B Word. During the B Word conference, Elon Musk said, Bitcoin is getting closer to using 50% of renewable energy. And once it does finally hit that 50% renewable energy mark, Tesla is going to start accepting Bitcoin again, which is huge because Tesla stopped using Bitcoin as payment because they were afraid that Bitcoin was using too much fossil fuels and they wanted to use more renewable energy. And this, once they tweeted out they were stopped taking Bitcoin, this tanked the price of Bitcoin. So this is really good news. But not only that, Elon Musk confirms that he owns Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin. And everyone in the Doge community looks up to Elon Musk because he's the one who started pumping the coin to ridiculous heights, up to 60 cents from like 5 cents, which is a huge return. And this goes back to a quote that he said in the B Word conference where he says, he pumps, but he doesn't dump. Which I believe he's the pump master, but I don't believe he hasn't dumped because he puts out a lot of FUD that drops the prices of Doge in Bitcoin, which wouldn't make any sense because he would lose a ton of money. I think he puts out FUD right after he sells all his coins, or part of his coins. How do you, Also in this conference, Cathie would discuss deflation that could happen in the United States, which is bad for the cryptocurrencies because crypto is used against inflation, because once there's a lot of inflation, people go towards Bitcoin because it's a digital form of gold because there's only a limited supply and it's not going to have a high inflation rate. Cathie also said that if the United States does see some deflation, that it's going to affect the small, less developed countries and may cause some hyperinflation. Hyperinflation is just where the inflation rate, instead of 3 to 4%, is 50% or higher. We've seen this in the past, like the German mark, where you can buy some bread with 380 marks, but after 1 year, superinflation hit so hard that you could barely buy bread with like 1 billion marks. So that is ridiculous. It's worth more to burn it than to use it. Or in Zimbabwe, where the inflation rate was almost 100% and their currency is worthless. If those people had some place to put their money against the hyperinflation, their money would be protected a ton. And that's exactly what they can do, is put their money into Bitcoin and not worry about it. So a lot of good things did come out of this conference. You can also look at this conference on YouTube, which you should go check it out. It's pretty long, but it's pretty informational. I like the smell of fake money, but we're talking about crypto. Number 2, we have an insider for Amazon that said they're going to finally accept Bitcoin at the end of this year, which is the biggest news that anyone can hear in the crypto space because I know, everybody in the world knows that Amazon is the 3rd largest company in the world and that its revenues just last year was $384 billion. Just imagine this, the market cap of the crypto is 1.3 trillion. Well, Amazon alone has sold $384 billion worth of revenue. That's 30% of the market cap of crypto alone. This is gonna drive the price of Bitcoin to the moon or even to Pluto. And Jeff Bezos is taking us there.
Yeah!
Go, Jeff, go, Mark.
Colonel, you better take a look at this radar.
What is it, son?
I don't know, sir, but it looks like a giant.
And also the insider said that they are eventually going to be taking Cardano, Ethereum, hopefully they take some Dogecoin. Amazon has been planning this since 2019 according to the insider. And also Amazon is planning to make their own cryptocurrency by 2022. And if this happens, this will also blow up the price of Bitcoin. Just look at the market. When Bitcoin goes up, all the other coins go up. It's ridiculous. Not one coin doesn't go up unless it's like an altcoin, a poop coin, you know, because poop coins are poop coins. But if they're like Ethereum, if they're Cardano, if they're anything else, they're all going to go up all with each other. So it's just really good news. Just imagine though, the empire of Amazon creates its own cryptocurrency. You better buy some because, dude, altogether they have $386 billion of revenue and it's just gonna go up more and more and more. And what happens if they only accept their cryptocurrency and you can't pay with your dollar? That would be just stupid. Yeah, that would be pretty cool to see a big company make their own cryptocurrency. A lot of banks are deciding to do this as well, like JP Morgan, but they're nowhere as big as Jeff Bezos and his rocket.
Dick,
Yeah.
take a look out of starboard.
Oh my God, it looks like a huge...
Now, even though this is just an insider, Amazon did confirm that they are making their own cryptocurrency and that it's going to come out around 2022, but they do deny that they're going to be taking Bitcoin by the end of this year, which I kind of highly doubt it, just like the Tesla Cybertruck coming out at the end of the year. But I do know that Amazon will eventually take Bitcoin when they have their own cryptocurrency coming out next year, which is coming soon. So you better get ready and buy some Bitcoin and whatever they come out with. And number 3, Goldman Sachs, another conglomerate of a finance company, is filing for a crypto-related ETF. This ETF is going to focus on crypto-related firms. So they're not going to actually invest in Bitcoin itself. They're going to be investing in firms like Coinbase. And the fund would invest 80% of its assets in securities, depository receipts, and like I said, stocks of firms including in the index. So a traditional investor doesn't have to go into the crypto space and go buy some Bitcoin. They can just invest in Coinbase because majority of the people in the United States are using Coinbase to buy and purchase, you know, all their crypto. Now, other crypto exchanges that are thinking about going public are Kraken and FTX, which that may happen anytime soon now. And having this ETF in Goldman Sachs is huge for these bigger investors that are putting millions of dollars into their portfolio, which altogether, anytime that Bitcoin or crypto is utilized and that more money is being pumped into the system, that just bumps up the price. ETFs are just a great way of putting your money in something and not having to worry about anything else. Also, other countries are coming up with ETFs of their own for their exchanges. It looks very positive for Canada since its institutional ETF investors are very bullish on Bitcoin. So anytime soon, Canada's gonna have an ETF of their own. South America, on the other hand, has implemented the first Bitcoin ETF, which has already started trading on the Brazilian stock exchange. In addition, the Brazilian SEC has just approved the first Ethereum EFT, which is big. I'm just so ready for the SEC of the United States to look at the ETF for our exchange here. We have so much potential and we have so much capital that we can gain and put in to this ETF. A lot of people want this ETF. Why can't we just approve it? But when it does get approved in the beginning of next year, all the other big countries are gonna follow because they're not gonna want to fall behind. Some other news that I already talked about was El Salvador accepting Bitcoin as a legal tender other than the US dollar. In September, businesses legally have to accept Bitcoin in El Salvador. So you have to have everything set up. And this is really good for countries in South America because majority of the people don't have their money in banks. So if there is some kind of inflation or hyperinflation, they're gonna be in trouble. So this gives them a way to put their money into cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, or anything else. They have that availability. El Salvador is the first country to accept Bitcoin as legal tender, and Paraguay is going to be the second country to vote on Bitcoin to be its legal tender for its country, and that's supposed to be happening at the end of this month, which this month is ending, so hurry up, Paraguay. And just looking at it, a lot of these South American countries are starting to implement or accept Bitcoin, and it's really good, but we need bigger countries that have a larger GDP, that have a lot more wealth, because this will put more money into the system. Nothing against South American countries, but like the United States. But the United States, we just have a ton of money just sitting here in fiat money. Like, come on, people. And I know more people who don't have cryptocurrency that do have cryptocurrency. Eventually, cryptocurrency is going to be adopted, so you don't want to be left behind. That's all I have to say about that. So, what are my thoughts about all this good news in the crypto market right now and Bitcoin? What are my thoughts about Bitcoin? Well, should you buy Bitcoin? Should you buy more Bitcoin? Well, I don't know. But personally, I keep buying Bitcoin. In other cryptocurrencies, Ethereum, and then I might gamble and buy a little bit more Dogecoin. I see this as a long-term investment. It's eventually going up, and you have really nothing to lose. I mean, other than all the dips that we get, but eventually it'll go back up. If you look at the graph from the very beginning of Bitcoin, it'll go up, it'll go down, it goes even up, and it goes down, but eventually it goes higher and higher and higher. And you can't lose, because according to the stock to flow model, which all this does is predict the price of scarcity and limited resources like silver or gold, or like Bitcoin, because there's only 21 million Bitcoins that can ever be mined. According to this model, which this model has been very consistent in predicting the price of Bitcoin, the worst case scenario of the price of Bitcoin in December is $135,000 per Bitcoin. Best scenario is $450,000 per Bitcoin, which is crazy. If you have one Bitcoin, I wish I had just one Bitcoin. And so if you just have one Bitcoin, you're Gucci, you're good. If you want to learn more about the stock to flow model, Andre made a great video explaining the whole thing. It goes very detailed on what's going on with this chart and how everything works. It's remarkable, the video he did, so go check that video out. If you enjoyed this video, I know you enjoyed this video, you gotta stare at this plant half the time. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and maybe one day I'll flip over this Doge poster, because I'm losing a ton of money on Doge and it's not going to the moon. It's like, yeah, it's falling down. Put a lot of work into this and all this research, so I appreciate you guys watching it to the very end. Also, don't forget to get your one free stock on Robinhood on the link down below, and also your free $10 of Bitcoin on Coinbase on the link down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.
What is that? That looks just like an enormous...
Wang! Pay attention.
I was distracted by that enormous flying